1001, 1002, 1003, 1004 and 1005. All right. One more for fair measure, 1006. So, that was a required legal disclaimer, but I'd like to add a few words on my own. Brothers and sisters, I have a confession to make. I haven't invented anything. I haven't invented a sandwich. I haven't invented a candle, and I haven't invented the stock market. None of the strategies that I plan to employ are my own. Rather, they are a synthesis of other people's strategies that I mix and match to my liking. I'm not an instructor or educator, and furthermore, I don't even consider myself an expert. This whole phenomenon of social media, including YouTube, has become very toxic, especially in the day trading sector. People claim ridiculous things. So, I'm telling you right off the bat, I haven't invented anything. It's not mine. Last but not least, I do not have any Discord, Telegram, Instagram or whatevergram accounts. I don't get lost in Nigeria with no money to fly back home. I will not approach you with any brilliant ideas or any sort of courses that will make you rich. Okay, then, what is this all about? Brothers and sisters, this channel aims to take day trading out of the hands of the billionaire class and put it into the hands of working families. Brothers and sisters, it's Saturday, and that's when I like to recuperate. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day, I shovel coal into the furnace. My back hurts, my arms hurt, my legs hurt. I've been looking forward to the weekend. I had some tentative plans too. I thought I might ask Betsy from the cafeteria out. More about Betsy later. I thought about having my boys over for some beer pong. And check this out, listen to this, I even considered going to the gym. But brothers and sisters, we all know in the heart of every red-blooded proletarian there is a little evil oil baron. And instead, I blew off dust from my desktop, turned it on, and now I'm looking at the charts trying to see what the market is trying to tell me. Yes, I know how it is. Brothers and sisters, I'm with you, like Sean. I am with you all the way. Let's eat the rich. Or better yet, become rich ourselves instead. With this in mind, I joined 3 day trading competitions. I know there are more than 3. I found about a dozen or so, but I chose to participate in just 3 of them. Now, the conventional wisdom tells us that a novice day trader would be wise to open an account with some broker, NinjaTrader or Tradovate for example, paper trade it for a while, let's say for a few months or a year or so, become consistent, and once you become consistent, then and only then you should proceed either the prop firm route or with a small individual account. And that is all fine and dandy, and I'm all for it. However, this isn't going to be free. Minimally, you're going to have to pay for the data. While the data fees are relatively small, they do accumulate over time. Prop firm competitions are something that I've discovered quite recently myself. Now, in the CFD space, participation in those competitions is completely free, and you will be provided with free data. Brothers and sisters, there are legitimate concerns with regard to trading CFD, especially after the recent legal troubles with some of those prop firms. Yes, of course, I'm aware of this, and this is something that one should consider seriously and make her own individual decision. In full disclosure, I should further point out that my own background is in trading futures. However, to my knowledge in the futures trading space, there are no free competitions. Furthermore, in my humble opinion, for someone who is just starting out and just looking for ways to get her feet in the water, those concerns, such as spread and lack of centralized marketplace, are largely irrelevant. I would say that it is important to understand what those things are, but if you aren't risking your own money, you should be okay. This is just for a starting point, and if and once you become good at it, then you can reassess your options. If you're a novice, and even if you have some experience, I don't think you should go into these competitions expecting to win. Certainly getting a nice cash prize would be great, but it's simply unrealistic. Every month there are anywhere from 50 to 70,000 participants in those competitions from all over the world, and as far as cash prizes go, there are only a few that go to a handful of top winners. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that in addition to cash prizes, they also hand out free accounts, and there are usually anywhere between 100 and 200 of those, so chances of winning a free account are a little bit higher, but still very, very small. So, what are those competitions? As I mentioned, I found about a dozen of them, but only 5 of those offer cash prizes. The other only offer free accounts. The 3 that I have selected to participate in are Funded Next, the Funded Trader, and the Alpha Capital Group. Since those prop firms are new to me, I wouldn't be able to tell you very much about those companies. I did some cursory research and they seem to be okay, but my own experience with those companies, for all intent and purposes, is non-existent. I do have a bit more experience in the futures prop firm space, and on the futures prop firm side I do have my favourites. I recommend TopStep and Take Profit Trader. Those are the only 2 futures prop firms that, to my knowledge, certifiably will put you in the real market once you get funded. With the rest, it's all shrouded in mystery, and for the most part, even after you get funded, you'll be trading on a simulator essentially against other challenge participants. It's a rather shady practice from my perspective. So, that's reason number 1 that I recommend TopStep and Take Profit Trader. Another reason is that those are the only 2 prop firms to my knowledge that have dedicated trade desks. There is actually a phone number that you can call if things go south for you, for example, if your internet is out, or you're living in a cave with the walls, and there is a power outage. You can actually call the trade desk and they will close your trades for you. To my knowledge, no other prop firms, besides those 2, have dedicated trade desks. Last but not least, those companies are the gold standard in terms of how they handle data interruptions. Yes, those things do happen. They don't happen all too often, but they do happen from time to time. And as they say, a friend in need is a friend indeed. I like to paraphrase it as the ones who aren't your friends in need aren't your friends at all. So, for example, when there are data interruptions, TopStep will give their challenge participants free resets. With other prop firms, in my experience, when there are data interruptions, they will give you a fat middle finger. Yeah, that's all you'll get from them. That's a sad reality. But I digress. Back to the competitions. The rules for those competitions are similar to the rules of the challenges, combines, or whatever other clever names those companies come up with. It's 5% daily drawdown and 10% total drawdown. The way I plan to approach it is to employ a set-it-and-forget-it approach. Namely, it'll all be swing trades. Basically, I'll be trading pullbacks. I'll be monitoring the instruments on a 4-hour chart. That's the main chart where I'll be looking for pullbacks, and I'll enter trades on a 15-minute or a 5-minute chart. That's all. This method requires almost no brain cells. For that reason alone, I think I am a good fit for this. I selected a large list of instruments, commodities, gold, silver, platinum and oil, all indexes under the sun, and about a dozen currency pairs to cover a very broad spectrum, all time zones, and basically I'll be looking for a setup on all those charts. If I see one, I'll enter it. It's rather unlikely that with such a large basket of instruments I'll find no setups. But if I don't see a setup on any of them, then I'll sit on my hands, or at least I'll try to sit on them. To go hand in hand with the whole hand-to-mouth trading theme, I'll be monitoring those instruments and a free version of TradingView. Yes, there is some sort of delay in data. I believe it's a 15-minute delay in data with a free version of TradingView, but since we're looking at a 4-hour time frame primarily for monitoring purposes, it's going to work just fine. As far as trade entries themselves, it's quite simple. I have, what should we call it? It's similar to what ICT calls optimal trade entry. So I have it mapped to my fib tool on TradingView. Again, like I said, none of these ideas are my own. This is something that borrowed from others. And you know, there are what I call crusaders on YouTube who claim that everything ICT teaches isn't his either, that it's all old ideas that he repackaged. Whatever, I learned it from him, so I credit him. Like I said in the beginning, this whole day trading YouTube scene has become rather toxic. In my humble opinion, unnecessarily so. But I digress. Back to the competitions. I contacted the prop firms to check if it would be okay for me to stream my competitions, and they said that as long as no one copies my trades exactly, then I should be fine. So, I'm not going to show you exactly how I enter my trades, so you won't be able to copy my trades down to a tick. But I will discuss the potential trades here, and you can enter or not enter on your own. And honestly, on a 4-hour chart, it really doesn't matter all that much if you enter a trade precisely down to a tick. In my humble opinion, it doesn't matter for swing trading. Now, I plan to do these streams in the 5 to 7 p.m. window, and that's New York time. Today is Saturday, March 9th, 2024. First, let's check the economic calendar and see what's brewing next week. I'm using, you guessed it, a free version of Financial Juice. So, on Sunday in the evening, it will be an evening for me on the east coast of the United States at 6:50 p.m. to be precise. We have red news in Japan. Well, I follow Nikkei, and also this news might move all yen currency pairs, so that's something to keep in mind. On Monday, again at 6:50 p.m., we have red news in Japan. Okay, so Sunday and Monday nights I'll be looking at Nikkei and yen currency pairs. Then, very early on Tuesday, March 12th at 2 a.m. New York time, there is red news in the UK and Germany. I have both English and German indexes in my basket of instruments, and also I will be paying attention to all pound currency pairs as well as all euro currency pairs. Okay, moving on. At 7:30 a.m. we have CPI in the US. That's major red news. I'll be looking at Nasdaq, S&P, Dow and Russell to make major moves. On Wednesday, March 13th at 2 a.m. at night, we have GDP in the UK. I'll be looking at all pound currency pairs and UK indexes. At 9:30 a.m. I see crude oil inventories that might and likely will move oil. So that's something to keep in mind. On Thursday, we have major red news at 7:30 a.m. in the US. Do you think it will move indexes? I bet it will. Then on Friday, I see at 2:45 a.m. red news in France. After that at 7:15 a.m. we have red news in friendly Canada. That's something to be on a lookout for. So, I'll be looking at all Canadian dollar pairs around that time. At 8:15 and at 9 a.m. we have red news in the US. Calendar-wise, we have a bit of a game plan. We know now what we're looking for on any particular day of the week. Now let's just quickly go through my basket of instruments and see if something catches my eye on a 4-hour chart. Silver, there is a possibility of reversal here and a parabolic move down, so this is something that I will be keeping on the radar, definitely. Next, platinum. Just like with silver, there is a potential for a reversal. As a matter of fact, it looks like it already started on platinum. Gold. Unlike silver and platinum, gold is pumping. It is at an all-time high. So definitely I'm not going to enter here, but should it pull back I will revisit this. For now, though, it's of no interest to me. UK oil. There is a potential for reversal here. It is at a strong rejection level, so this is something to consider. US oil. The same thing. A good potential for reversal. Aussie is pumping, and it is pulling back, which is good, but I would like to see a deeper pullback before entering, so I'll wait for now. France, it's pumping. We had a breakout from the area of consolidation. I don't believe I ever traded this index, but the upcoming week on Friday, we have red news for France early in the morning. If there is a deeper pullback, then I will consider entering. Euro Stoxx 50 is pumping. There is a pullback in progress. We barely crossed a 50% mark. I would like to see a deeper pullback before entering. Germany 30, it's pumping, and we're in the midst of a pullback. That's all very good. We also have some red news on the calendar for Germany next week on Tuesday. If there is a deeper pullback, then I will consider entering. Hong Kong 50, nothing at the moment. S&P is pumping, and there was a pullback. I need to see a deeper pullback before I consider entering. Nasdaq is similar to S&P. Dow Jones, the direction here isn't quite as clear, so for now I'll stay away from it. Russell is pumping, and it looks like we missed an opportunity for entry on the deep pullback. Oh well, there will be other opportunities. UK 100, there was a reversal here at the top, where we are left with equal highs. It's a potential target. We had a deep pullback, so it's a potential point of entry here, and we have red news for UK this week. So, it gives us a point of entry in terms of the level, and it gives us a point of entry in terms of time. Overall, potentially a good opportunity here. Nikkei, this looks very interesting to me. As you may recall, tomorrow in the evening for me at 6:50 p.m. we have red news for Japan. So, I can enter here with a tight stop, hoping it will continue pumping. So, Nikkei at the moment is a good candidate. Dollar yen, well, this also looks interesting. I might enter here. I missed an entry at the very bottom of this pullback, but we haven't gone too far yet from the bottom. This is still a pretty good entry as far as I'm concerned. US dollar, Canadian dollar. I missed the bottom of the pullback, but I might still enter at this fair value gap. Those green zones are fair value gaps, so I will consider entering at the fair value gap right here. US dollar, Swiss franc. The same story here. I missed an entry at the very bottom of the pullback, but we haven't gone too far, so yes, I will consider entering here. Euro, US dollar. I don't see a point of entry here. We are pumping, and unless I see some sort of a pullback, I don't see any entry here. Pound dollar. It is pumping, so I'm not going to enter at the top. I'll be waiting for a pullback. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Well, we are pumping, and we are at the level where there was a lot of resistance here, and resistance, once it is broken, often turns into support. So, it's not a bad level to enter right where it is right now. I will consider that. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Looks like we had a reversal here. It might be too late to play a catch-up game. This ship might have sailed already. British pound, Canadian dollar. It is pumping, so I'll be waiting for a pullback. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. The same story. It is pumping, so unless I see a pullback, I'm going to sit on my hands. Euro, Australian dollar. Well, it looks like we had a pullback and now are heading back up, so yes, potentially I might enter here, although it's not ideal. British pound, Australian dollar. It's a little tricky here. We might be heading up, but there is also a chance that we will continue downward toward the bottom of this range, so no, I will stay out for now. As you can see, when you have a large basket of instruments, more often than not, you'll find a few opportunities for entries. This is my outlook for the upcoming week. I go through this list every day. Okay, this completes it. I'll be reviewing my trades and trade ideas around this time, 5 to 7 p.m. New York time. If you're interested to listen to my blabbering, next I plan to be on the air on Monday. Brothers and sisters, keep it up. Before you know, you'll be a billionaire. Okay, peace out. First, let's check the economic calendar and see what's brewing next week. I'm using, you guessed it, a free version of Financial Juice. So, on Sunday in the evening, it will be an evening for me on the east coast of the United States at 6:50 p.m. to be precise. We have red news in Japan. Well, I follow Nikkei, and also this news might move all yen currency pairs, so that's something to keep in mind. On Monday, again at 6:50 p.m., we have red news in Japan. Okay, so Sunday and Monday nights I'll be looking at Nikkei and yen currency pairs. Then, very early on Tuesday, March 12th at 2 a.m. New York time, there is red news in the UK and Germany. I have both English and German indexes in my basket of instruments, and also I will be paying attention to all pound currency pairs as well as all euro currency pairs. Okay, moving on. At 7:30 a.m. we have CPI in the US. That's major red news. I'll be looking at Nasdaq, S&P, Dow and Russell to make major moves. On Wednesday, March 13th at 2 a.m. at night, we have GDP in the UK. I'll be looking at all pound currency pairs and UK indexes. On Thursday, we have major red news at 7:30 a.m. in the US. Do you think it will move indexes? I bet it will. Then on Friday, I see at 2:45 a.m. red news in France. After that at 7:15 a.m. we have red news in friendly Canada. That's something to be on a lookout for. So, I'll be looking at all Canadian dollar pairs around that time. At 8:15 and at 9 a.m. we have red news in the US. At 9:30 a.m. I see crude oil inventories that might and likely will move oil. So, that's something to keep in mind. Calendar-wise, we have a bit of a game plan. We know now what we're looking for on any particular day of the week. Now let's just quickly go through my basket of instruments and see if something catches my eye on a 4 hour chart. Silver, there is a possibility of reversal here and a parabolic move down, so this is something that I will be keeping on the radar, definitely. Next, platinum. Just like with silver, there is a potential for a reversal. As a matter of fact, it looks like it already started on platinum. Gold. Unlike silver and platinum, gold is pumping. It is at an all-time high. So definitely I'm not going to enter here, but should it pull back I will revisit this. For now, though, it's of no interest to me. UK oil, there is a potential for reversal here. It is at a strong rejection level, so this is something to consider. US oil, the same thing, a good potential for reversal. Aussie is pumping and it is pulling back, which is good, but I would like to see a deeper pullback before entering, so I'll wait for now. France, it's pumping. We had a breakout from the area of consolidation. I don't believe I ever traded this index, but the upcoming week on Friday, we have red news for France early in the morning. If there is a deeper pullback, then I will consider entering. Euro Stoxx 50 is pumping. There is a pullback in progress. We barely crossed a 50% mark. I would like to see a deeper pullback before entering. Germany 30, it's pumping, and we're in the midst of a pullback. That's all very good. We also have some red news on the calendar for Germany next week on Tuesday. If there is a deeper pullback, then I will consider entering. Hong Kong 50, nothing at the moment. S&P is pumping, and there was a pullback. I need to see a deeper pullback before I consider entering. Nasdaq is similar to S&P. Dow Jones, the direction here isn't quite as clear, so for now I'll stay away from it. Russell is pumping, and it looks like we missed an opportunity for entry on the deep pullback. Oh well, there will be other opportunities. UK 100, there was a reversal here at the top, where we are left with equal highs. It's a potential target. We had a deep pullback, so it's a potential point of entry here, and we have red news for UK this week. So it gives us a point of entry in terms of the level, and it gives us a point of entry in terms of time. Overall, potentially a good opportunity here. Nikkei, this looks very interesting to me. As you may recall, tomorrow in the evening for me at 6:50 p.m. we have red news for Japan. So I can enter here with a tight stop, hoping it will continue pumping. So Nikkei at the moment is a good candidate. Dollar yen, well, this also looks interesting. I might enter here. I missed an entry at the very bottom of this pullback, but we haven't gone too far yet from the bottom. This is still a pretty good entry as far as I'm concerned. US dollar, Canadian dollar. I missed the bottom of the pullback, but I might still enter at this fair value gap. Those green zones are fair value gaps, so I will consider entering at the fair value gap right here. US dollar, Swiss franc. The same story here. I missed an entry at the very bottom of the pullback, but we haven't gone too far, so yes, I will consider entering here. Euro, US dollar. I don't see a point of entry here. We are pumping, and unless I see some sort of a pullback, I don't see any entry here. Pound dollar. It is pumping, so I'm not going to enter at the top. I'll be waiting for a pullback. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Well, we are pumping, and we are at the level where there was a lot of resistance here, and resistance, once it is broken, often turns into support, so it's not a bad level to enter right where it is right now. I will consider that. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Looks like we had a reversal here. It might be too late to play a catch-up game. This ship might have sailed already. British pound, Canadian dollar. It is pumping, so I'll be waiting for a pullback. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. The same story. It is pumping, so unless I see a pullback, I'm going to sit on my hands. Euro, Australian dollar. Well, it looks like we had a pullback and now are heading back up, so yes, potentially I might enter here, although it's not ideal. British pound, Australian dollar. It's a little tricky here. We might be heading up, but there is also a chance that we will continue downward toward the bottom of this range, so no, I will stay out for now. As you can see, when you have a large basket of instruments, more often than not, you'll find